Hi, my name is Abby Lynch. I'm the Teen Services Librarian here at the Brookfield Library, back for another week of Teen Book Talks. It's October, it's spooky season, so today we are going to be talking about some new paranormal books from our teen fiction collection. I know some people dive right into horror books around this time of year, but not everybody's up for something so scary, so sometimes you want the spooky season vibes without all of the spooky season scares, and I think that these books today all have a good atmosphere for reading this time of year. Some are more straightforwardly fantasy, some are more paranormal, and some of them are kind of scary, but hopefully there'll be a little bit of something for everybody. They can all be found in our new teen fiction collection at the library, or you can give us a call at 203-775-6241 and we'll put it on hold for you or get it ready for curbside pickup. And you can also place holds online at brookfieldlibrary.org. All right, let's get started. First up today we have Before We Disappear by Shaun David Hutchinson. Jack Nevin's clever trickery and moral flexibility have served him well his entire life, making him the perfect assistant to the Enchantress, one of the most well-known stage magicians in early 20th century Europe. Without Jack's steady supply of stolen tricks and copycat sleight-of-hand illusions, the Enchantress's fame would have burned out long ago, not that she would ever admit it. But when they're forced to flee the continent for America, the Enchantress finds a new audience in Seattle at the 1909 Alaska-Yukon Pacific World's Fair Exposition. She and Jack are set to make a fortune until a new magician arrives on the scene. Performing tricks that defy the imagination, Laszlo's act threatens to overshadow the Enchantress and co-opt her audience. Jack has no choice but to hunt for the secrets behind Laszlo's otherworldly illusions, and what he uncovers isn't at all what he expected. What makes Laszlo's tricks possible is, unbelievably, a boy that can seemingly perform real magic. Wilhelm's abilities defy all the laws of physics. His talents are no clever sleights of hand. But even though Laszlo and Wilhelm's act threatens to destroy the life Jack and the Enchantress have built, Jack and Wilhelm have a near-instant connection. As the rivalry between the Enchantress and Laszlo grows increasingly dangerous and dire, Jack finds he has to choose between the woman who gave him a life and the boy who is offering him love. So that's Before We Disappear by Shaun David Hutchinson. Next up we have one of the spookier titles on the list, Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. Cottrell doesn't mind talking to the dead. She just wishes it made more money. Clients pay her to talk to their deceased loved ones, but it isn't enough to support her unemployed mother and mom's deadbeat boyfriend of the week. Things get worse when a ghost warns her to stop the summonings or she'll burn everything down. Cottrell is willing to call them on their bluff though. She has no choice. What do ghosts know about eating peanut butter for dinner? However, when her next summoning accidentally raises someone from the dead, Cottrell realizes that a live body is worth a lot more than a dead apparition. And, warning or not, she has no intention of letting this lucrative new business go. But magic doesn't come for free, and soon dark forces are closing in on Cottrell. The further she goes, the more she risks the lives of not only herself, but those she loves. Cottrell faces a choice: resign herself to poverty or confront the darkness before it's too late. So that's Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. Next up we have one for the more romantic paranormal readers, which is Vampire Hearts and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston. Victoria and her dad have shared a love of the undead since the first vampire revealed his existence on live TV. Public fear soon drove the vampires back into hiding, yet Victoria and her father still dream about finding a vampire together. But when her dad is diagnosed with terminal cancer, it's clear that's not going to happen. Instead, Victoria vows to find a vampire herself, so that she can become one and save her father. Armed with research, speculations, and desperation, and helped by her estranged best friend Henry, Victoria travels to New Orleans in search of a miracle. There she meets Nicholas, a mysterious young man who might give her what she desires. But first he needs Victoria to prove she loves life enough to live forever. She agrees to complete a series of challenges, from scarfing sugar-drenched beignets to singing with a jazz band, all to show she has what it takes to be immortal. But truly living while her father is dying feels like a betrayal. Victoria must figure out how to experience joy and grief at once, trusting all the while that Nicholas will hold up his end of the bargain, because the alternative is too impossible to imagine. So that's Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston. Next up is a book with one of my favorite covers this year, I think, The Poison Heart by Kalynn Bayron. Bree Sais has a gift. She can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms with a single touch. When Bree Sais' aunt dies and wills her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents decide to leave Brooklyn behind for the summer. Hopefully there, surrounded by plants and flowers, Bree will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they could never have imagined. It comes with a specific set of instructions, an old-school apothecary, and a walled garden filled with the deadliest botanicals in the world that can only be entered by those who share Bree's unique family lineage. When strangers begin to arrive on their doorstep, asking for tinctures and elixirs, Bree learns she has a surprising talent for creating them. One of the visitors is Marie, a mysterious young woman who Bree befriends, only to find that Marie is keeping dark secrets about the history of the estate and its surrounding community. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it, until a nefarious group comes after her in search of a rare and dangerous immortality elixir. Up against a centuries-old curse and the deadliest plant on Earth, Bree must harness her gift to protect herself and her family. So that's This Poison Heart by Kalynn Bayron. So these next two books are more on the suspense side, but with still paranormal elements. First up is The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. Natasha's sister is missing. Her car was found abandoned on the edge of a local nature preserve known as The Bend, but as the case goes cold, Natasha's loss turns into burning anger. She'll do anything to find answers. Della's family has channeled magic from The Bend for generations, providing spells for the desperate. But when Natasha appears on her doorstep, Della knows it will take more than simple potions to help her. But Della has her own secrets to hide, because Della thinks that she knows the beast who's responsible for the disappearance, her own mother, who was turned into a terrible monster by magic gone wrong. Natasha is angry. Della has little to lose. They are each other's only hope. So that's The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. And last up today we have Dark and Shallow Lies by Ginny Sain. La Cachette, Louisiana is the worst place to be if you have something to hide. This tiny town where 17-year-old Gray spends her summers is the self-proclaimed psychic capital of the world, and the place where Alora Pellerin, Gray's best friend, disappeared 6 months earlier. Gray can't believe that Alora vanished into thin air any more than she can believe that nobody in a town full of psychics knows what happened. But as she digs into the night that Alora went missing, she begins to realize that everyone in town is hiding something. Her grandmother, Honey, her childhood crush, Hart, and even her late mother, whose secrets continue to call to Gray from beyond the grave. When a mysterious stranger emerges from the bayou, a stormy-eyed boy with links to Alora and the town's bloody history, Gray realizes that La Cachette's past is far more present and dangerous than she'd ever understood. Suddenly, she doesn't know who she can trust. In a town where secrets lurk just below the surface and where a murderer is on the loose, nobody can be presumed innocent, and La Cachette's dark and shallow lies may just rip the town apart. So that's Dark and Shallow Lies by Ginny Sain. So those are our new paranormal fiction books for today. I hope there's something that is intriguing to you that you'd like to check out. Feel free to stop in, give us a call again at 203-775-6241, or visit brookfieldlibrary.org to place a hold. If these did not appeal to you, you can always put in a request for a personalized reading form on our website under the Services tab, then Teen Services, then Personalized Reading, and I'd love to put together a list just for you. And until next time, have a great week.